بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. نستمر في محاضراتنا الفيديوية إن شاء الله، وقد وصلنا إلى المحاضرة الخامسة. The title of this lecture is Final Sequences. Namely, we are going to talk about the cluster that includes a stop plus la sound. That is on page 72. Actually, in the previous lectures, we've been talking about various types of final clusters, including stop plus stop, with its two types, like the word kept, in which we have p, which is a stop, followed by t, which is a stop, and each one of the stop sounds is produced in a different place. And here, if you remember, we needed two closures and one release. And the other type of stop plus stop is just like slip past, in which we have p plus p, which are identical sounds, stop sounds. In this case, we needed one closure, but a long one, followed by one release. Then we move talking about stop plus nasal. In this case, we are going to have a nasal release, but in the previous cases, we will have an oral release. So a word like written with the deleted schwa will have this cluster, stop plus nasal, and resulting in a nasal release. Now, the question is, what kind of release we will have when the stop consonant is followed by the lateral sound l? You know, a lateral sound, it is a very special way of producing a sound, and we have only one lateral sound in English, which is l. This sound is produced when the tip of the tongue is in complete contact with the alveolar ridge, but the sides of the tongue are not in contact with the roof of the mouth. And in this case, the airflow will be able to pass through the sides of the mouth. This is called lateral pronunciation. While in a normal alveolar sound, for example, t or d, the whole tongue is in contact with the roof of the mouth, and there is no space for the airflow to pass out. Okay? If we take the word Medulla, in this word we have d sound, which is an alveolar stop sound. It is followed by l, which is a lateral sound. And don't forget the schwa is deleted. We do not say muddle. If we say muddle, there is a schwa here, there is no cluster. But if we say muddle, dl, dele, are pronounced one after the other without a vowel between them. In this case, the sound la is going to be syllabic, don't forget. Here we need to be careful with this cluster. So what shall we do? This is the question. How do we pronounce the combination dl or tl? The sound d, as you know, is an alveolar stop sound. What does that mean? It means that the tip of the tongue is going to be raised to make a complete contact with the alveolar ridge. So this is necessary for d. Try it and keep the whole of the tongue in complete contact with the alveolar ridge. Now, while we are still keeping the tongue tip in contact with the ridge for a moment, what do? We only lower the sides of the tongue and let the air explode through the sides in a lateral release. So we pronounce the, we make the contact, the complete contact, then for a moment, then we only lower the sides. We don't lower the whole tongue. The tip of the tongue is still in contact with the alveolar ridge, and only the sides are lowered. In this case, we will have a lateral release. Actually, the same is true in words such as battle. It is not battle, it's battle. The tele are pronounced all together, where we have an anniversary stop t followed by lateral le. So we will have the same process. But what if we have words like bottled? The word bottle as a verb is made in the past tense and it becomes bottled. In this case, we are going to have t, l, d, three consonants one after the other. And the la here is also syllabic. Now, the tongue tip will be in contact with the alveolar ridge for t, as we did before. Then only the sides of the tongue are lowered for la, to make the lateral la. Later, the sides are raised again to ensure the complete contact necessary for the d. So we make the contact for t, we lower the sides of the tongue for la, then we raise them again and make a complete contact for the d sound. You can have more examples on page 72 or 73. Look, these are more examples like huddled, models, curled pedals, mottled, etc. Now, sometimes we have a combination of dele or tele, like in these words in this list, but here the la sound is not syllabic. We say badly. Okay, red light, red light. Here the la sound is not syllabic. Don't mix up things together. In the first situation it was syllabic, here it is not syllabic. It is not syllabic. Okay, now we will finish our lecture with a question. Think of a word in which we have th sound followed by plural se. So we have the combination or the cluster of th, se all together, and comment on the pronunciation of the cluster it has. I'll expect you'll think about this question and come up with interesting answers. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you again. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.